Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon reports. And despite it being responsible for some of the best days that a lot of our traders had in their entire careers, this week has been sort of a grind fest, despite some of the biggest names reporting. We're going to talk about Amazon earnings. We're going to teach you how to weather the storm in the market. Every guru out there likes to show you there's strategies and what you could do, but very few of them come to you and say, this is probably the environment where you want to let off the gas pedal a little, maybe hit the brakes, stop a little. Don't worry, it's like a red light. You'll turn green and you could go again. Nobody out there in the industry likes to talk about the fact that not all market conditions are created equally. We're going to address how to weather the storm today. We're going to give you some psychological uplifting today, make you feel good about it, and we're going to discuss Amazon's earnings. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. The Newsbeat Show has been brought to you by T3, making your lives better via the Newsbeat Live Room. And also, programming like this is also brought to you thanks to viewers like you. So, Amazon reported today. A lot of us took it overnight and whatnot. And I'll tell you right now that yeah, it's been kind of interesting here. It's been kind of interesting here to say the least. I went ahead and using Newsbeat Live Earnings Plays, which we give to all our members as a free add-on to being part of the room, so we don't nickel and dime you every two steps and pretend it's a new product. So what we do is we gave you Amazon long, and I sold my shares over. I took shares in Amazon. I sold them over $3,600. The stock exploded almost 200 points off the close. Really solid trade, and it's sort of just digesting here. The point I made is I don't think these analysts who were looking at Amazon really knows my wife. And that's unfortunate to them for them because my wife is responsible for $2.7 billion worth of Amazon sales. I have so many brown boxes coming to my house. I almost feel like I'm going to get a call from the Amazon rainforest calling me a murderer. There is so much shit that I have to cut up boxes. There's boxes night. I have that shit every 2 weeks here where I live in Jersey. And I'll tell you right now, it takes me about an hour to cut up and put out boxes every 2 weeks. I am literally I should be like on the board of Amazon. That's how much shit I order from them. Anyway, Amazon gapped up, was up almost 200 points. At the moment, it is up about 90 approximately as I say this. Granted, anything could change. Let's go ahead and let's try to understand why these analysts are really just absolutely awful. Look, everybody is wrong sometimes. I'm not judging. How is it on every FANG names these analysts are not wrong, but so wrong to the largest companies on the world who are very transparent? How does that make any sense? Amazon reported earnings per share $15.79. That's ahead of the analyst consensus of $9.54. What did you think was going to happen? How were you so far off? 108.5 billion versus the 104.46 billion expected. Jeff Bezos saying as Prime Video turns 10 years old, over over 175 million Prime members have streamed shows and movies in the past year, and streaming hours up more than 70% year over year. It's kind of funny when that's the first thing he starts talking about is Amazon Prime. It's obviously going to be a very big part of their future. Amazon Studios received a record 12 Academy Award nominations. Really? I mean, first of all, what is the Academy Awards? I didn't even know they still did that shit. I almost feel like I almost feel like the Academy Awards now. It's almost like one of those things where like your kid goes to like karate, which is a watered down version of American Taekwondo. And then what they do is they go to a tournament, they break a piece of wood in which if the wind is blowing too strong would crack it. And then they come home with this like trophy they got for like at the 99-cent store, and they give you this trophy. I think that's what the Oscars are, right? And they give you this little like trophy, and it looks like a dude who's sitting there in a straitjacket because they don't allow anyone into the Oscars, right? Funny how that works. Anyway, going back to it, they won 12 Academy Award nominations and 2 wins. Upcoming originals, including Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, The Tomorrow War. I absolutely love Amazon Prime. The Underground Railroad, much more. In just 15 years, Amazon Web Services has become a $54 billion annual sales run rate business, competing against the world's largest technology companies. And its growth is accelerating, up 32% year over year. Companies from Airbnb to McDonald's, Volkswagen come to Amazon Web Services because, as Jeff Bezos says, we offer what is by far the broadest set of tools and services available, and we continue to invent relentlessly on their behalf. We love Prime Video and AWS, and we're proud to have them in the family. Next quarter's revenue, 110 to 116 billion, ahead of the 108.68 billion expected. Amazon Web Services for the quarter, 13.5 billion versus 10.2 billion a year ago. Operating income of 4.16 billion versus 3.08 billion a year ago. And some of you might say, all right, 4.16 versus 3.08, it's only 1 billion. You're looking at it wrong if you look at it like, oh, it's a billion gain, just a billion. For a company like Amazon, maybe you could use the word just a billion. It increased 33% is a more accurate way to look at it. More than 33%, slightly, but let's call it a third. So if it keeps growing by that, I mean, the curve of billions just goes straight up. Amazon says traffic driving advertising space as continues to improve relevancy of ads, says projecting continued strength across all segments. And it's kind of funny because I was thinking about it. If you notice, names like Twitter are actually down today. You'll notice names like Twitter are getting shellacked. And I sat there and I thought about all the FANG names, and I'm like, I order shit from Facebook ads. Amazon, like I said, my wife is doing over $2 billion every quarter in ordering shit from Amazon that we pretend that we need. Apple gets my money. I subscribe to the Apple Store. I buy shit from them, apps, whatever, etc. Netflix gets my money. I have a subscription. And Google definitely gets my money because I search, I use their ads, I click on their things, and they get revenue from that. I give money to all the FANG names. You know what I don't give money to ever? Twitter. Twitter never gets a penny from me. Ever. You want to know what else doesn't get a penny from me? Another name that shit a brick yesterday, Pinterest. When was the last time Pinterest received a dollar from me? Never. Twitter? Never. And what I'm noticing is all these little shit companies who never get a dollar from me are the ones that are gapping down and getting really schlacked. It's kind of funny how that works. And I'm not saying there aren't companies I give money to that didn't gap down. I'm just generalizing on the FANG names. That's all. I do find it kind of funny how that works. So Amazon is trading at all-time highs. Congratulations to people who took this one long insider service here. And again, less promotion here. If you're interested in anything we do, there's links in the description. That's the last you'll hear of it. Let's get into the psychology part. So what I did was I did something really clever. I almost feel like, there's certain days in the market which are harder for most people. And I understand that. And then of course you'll have other people who are like, look, you could trade and make money in any market. Look, move here, move here, move here. You could have shorted this, you could have longed this. I get that. And that's going to happen every day. As a generalization, if you are having a tough week, that to me is actually normal. Now, granted, I'm having one of my better weeks of the year because I had my best day of the year on Monday, thanks to Amazon. And that was just because of a fluke news flow. That was just because of a fluke news flow with Charlie Gasparino. Charlie Gasparino came out and talked Amazon here, And I bought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of call options, is what I did. I slammed the sweet bejesus out of it. I slammed that shit so hard that Jeff Bezos called me on the phone and asked me if everything was okay. He felt a tremor. And this is a 5 minute chart of Amazon going right up. And if you miss that trade, don't worry. It's just a fluke. This week of trading was not easy. You see, the whole point of being a weathered, consistent trader isn't getting beaten up on some bullshit fabricated strategies, mentalities, and methodologies that the gurus on Wall Street share. It's going through the storm. And once the storm is over, you won't really remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain, ladies and gentlemen, when you come out of the storm, you will not be the same person who walked in. And that is what the storm is all about. If you want to see sunshine, you have to weather these storms. The trick is to be smart. You know what they used to do? There used to be things on the farmland called storm shelters, right? And they would go underground inside a storm shelter. A lot of traders, they're out there dancing while there's a storm, and they're wondering why a wheelbarrow flew in their face and beheaded them, hypothetically speaking, for trading. You have to be able to weather the storm. Within all of us, there is this almost storm that we have to overcome. And some believe it will never end. Some believe your trading will never get there. But he who has faith in proven methodologies will weather any storm that comes before them. You know, everything in some of you are probably thinking, and I know what some of you are probably thinking. You're probably sitting there behind your desk thinking, Mark, I've been in this storm for so long, I don't know if I'll ever get out. And I know that. It's almost hard to see in a storm. Little do you guys know how long I've been in the storm. I've been in the storm, to get to where I am, really 15, 16 years to get to where I am today. I'm not saying I didn't make money before, but like there was no consistency. There was big drops, big pops, everything. And when it's sunny outside, it's great, isn't it? But it's how you weather the storm. So enjoy the good while it's there because there's no telling when the storm will come thundering through the markets, thundering through your life, and you'll be left holding on with everything inside of you trying to make it through. I mean, people, when this market is like this, when the news flow especially is slow, what I've realized is I've really, when people come to me and they're like, Mark, what is the hardest thing you've learned over your 22, God, makes me feel old, your 22-year trading career? What is the hardest thing you've learned? And it's how to understand the market when it's going to be a good day or a bad day before the market begins, before the bell rings. In hindsight, you'll always know, right? But how do you tell before the market begins? So what I did was I introduced a new a new, I guess it sort of is a product. I'm just incorporating it within Twitter. Is I literally call it the P&L Plunge Protection Team Tier. And what we do in the morning is we change our tiers accordingly to the conviction of the market. And what I do every day now is I literally share the P&L PPT tier, the Plunge Protection Team tier, because I'm trying to stop your P&L from plunging by telling you to tier correctly. And if you're going to go ahead and do stupid trades anyway, I'd rather have you do it with 30% of the size, taking it 70% down. I'd rather have you do it with 30% of the size, 50% of the size, 20% of the size, not at all, as opposed to 100% of the size. And that's something that, of course, everyone makes their own decision, but a lot of people reached out to me and said that really saved their asses today. How many of you Newsbeat Live members felt like that was helpful? When we started saying, okay, the tier's down now, the tier's down. I alerted afterwards. I said, all right, lower your tier here. Everything is choppy. A lot of people actually found that heads up sort of useful. And the more I share it with you, the more useful it's going to be to you over time when you start to actually realize how important it is to save yourself from you. The way I see it is our relationship here as a family in the Newsbeat Live room is here through thick and thin. Our relationship is not all sunshine, but we can share an umbrella and survive the storm together. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. We can't just simply abandon ship when times get tough. That's the hardest part of that's why I think so many traders fail because a lot of times they walk in, all right, market's good, they're doing their stuff, it's working, they're making money, and then poof, market just the conviction changes and bam, you blow out. You know, and when you're sort of caught right in the middle of the storm or the eye of the storm, you're not even aware of the whiplash that's happening around you. You're not even aware of it. I'm strong as a trader because I know weakness. I'm compassionate to you guys in the Newsbeat live room because I have experienced suffering. I am alive as a trader today because I am a fighter. I am a wise trader today because I've been foolish. I have known sadness. I can love because I've known loss. And you are a strong person who has weathered this storm. And believe me, what will kill you is somebody who still loves to dance in the rain. Come inside. Have some hot chocolate. We'll go out and dance again. Believe me. The point of a guru is not to scam people using fallacies of methodologies, traders who are literally utilizing their entire room for a selfish purpose. And that's what gurus do. It's too easy. They all do. Practically every guru in the industry does that. My job, my unspoken words, is I have to keep you safe. I have to keep you safe. I have to keep you safe and let you know when I don't like the market. I can't stop you from going outside and dancing in a hurricane. I can't stop you from it, but I could do everything I can to warn you from it and warn you to stay away from it. It is only in sorrow that bad weather masters us. In joy, we face the storm and defy it. Stay uplifted. Don't let the the grindiness of the entire market hold you down. It will get better if we could face this together with love and trust for each other. You could weather any storm with us because we have each other's back. I'm a little skeptical about tomorrow's day. For those watching here or not Newsbeat Live members, I'll tell you, unless some magical upgrades come or some magical flurry of news flow, I'm thinking tomorrow's the last day of the month. Let it end, and let's look forward to the market ahead. We will get through anything that you're going through. We will accomplish anything that we can, only as a team. Okay. So, just going back to Amazon here, the stock's obviously still pretty whippy. And the stock literally moves up and down 10 points every 10 minutes right now, but it'll be okay in the end. Your life as a trader will be okay. We will get through whatever we need to get through together. Not every day is the same. I know your loved one expects you to. I know those scam, scum of the barrel, worthless waste of oxygen human beings out there, those gurus who come to you and they tell you you're going to make $200 every day, or make $500 every day, or make $300 every day. That's not how you become successful, in my opinion. And you might say, well, why your opinion? Why not the gurus? Again, you want to see me boast? People in my room are consistently profitable. Not in that other room. Does your guru ask your room this? Has your guru ever asked these words to the room? No? Maybe he's full of shit. And maybe there's only one or two or three or five people he can help, and everybody else crumbles around him or her. You are supposed to trade smart consistently. That is what you're supposed to do. It doesn't, your day is not good or bad based on whether you made money or lost money. Your day is good or bad based on if you traded what you do well intelligently or you didn't trade what you do well stupidly. That is what will ultimately define you if you did or did not trade well. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast.